It's always fun to find a new version of an old favorite, so stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name's Rob, and in this episode, like I said, it's always fun to find a new version of an old favorite. Now, that old favorite of mine is Soundwave. Definitely, hands down, one of, if not my favorite Transformers figure of all time. One of the first big ones that I got as a kid, and only ones, and to me, his coolness has endured the decades. So it's really cool to see a new version of him. And I don't mean a new transforming version, I just mean one of this size. I mean, we'll test it out, but I believe this dude is 3 3/4, and that's just neat. He can pal around with G.I. Joe figures. I mean, he did have size alteration powers, so why not? He could hang out with them on their level and, you know, get a couple beers or oil cans or what have you. So I'm really excited to take a look at this, and I got a few ideas on what I can do with him as far as posing him and such. But anyway, I'm not going to show you the back of the package because if you don't know, there's kind of some neat accessories that come with him, and I don't want to give that away yet. So we will take a look at that when we unbox him, open him up, what have you. Now, I'm completely ignorant of the new way of Transformers. A few years ago, I had my finger on the pulse when my son was really into it, but I really don't know, like, how do you say this? Is it just Transformers Kingdom figures? Or is it Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron trilogy figures? I mean, I know personally, I'll just say Transformers Kingdom because that just sounds better, but I assume this is part of the Netflix show. I haven't caught that yet because, like I said, my son kind of isn't into Transformers as much as he used to be. So, with that being a good segue, here's how big of a fan of Transformers he used to be, because he did the song for this segment intro. So, hit it!
Transformers, we need a die. Our box was about to eat us. Yeah!
Okay, folks, here we go. Here is Transformers Kingdom Soundwave. Now, I don't know if there are other versions of Soundwave within the Kingdom line. I might have to check it out, but what grabbed my attention with this dude right off the bat is it's pretty OG. I mean, he transforms into a tape deck, and I have multiple versions of Soundwave that transform into that, so I am happy to get him into my collection of Soundwaves. Now, I know that they sell itty-bitty small figures for the novelty of it, but to have one this size is, frankly, very awesome. I mean, I'm a big fan of 3 3/4 figures, and to have a Transformer that fits within that universe is pretty awesome. And like I said, he is a size-altering robot in the cartoon, so why not? He could hang out with some homies and kick back and relax. Anyway, I apologize for any glare. That's just from my lighting. And one day I will update everything, but for now, this is what we have, and I'm sorry for that. But we won't have to deal with it long because I'm opening them up, and we won't have any shiny plastic in the way. Oh, and one thing real quick. Look at this artwork. I mean, it is far removed from the OG artwork, but that's really nice. I mean, I'm really happy with it. And like I said, I don't watch the new Netflix show if this is part of that. So I don't know what's going on in the background. I mean, this kind of looks like I guess it's Cybertron in the background, because it is War for Cybertron. So anyway, and this Takara and Tomy thing on the packaging's pretty cool too. I mean, that kind of makes it super throwback to the 80s and Japanese import-export. So super cool. I don't know why I said import-export. Japanese imports. Anyway, let's open it up. And I was going to say something that, hey, because it's so small, this will be a quick review, but we all know how I am, and I'll find a million little things to talk about, and it'll be just as long as a Big Figures episode. So we have directions. They're I love the green, very nice. But I don't think we will be requiring them. So we'll set them to the side, and if my cockiness bites me in the rear end, they will be there to guide the way. And you would think for such a little figure, they wouldn't need all this crap on it. So wasteful. The packing industry is very wasteful when it comes to toys or anything. Something that always bugs me. Oh, come on. There we go. So, first things first, I want to point out that these are relatively cheap for what they are. I mean, these are $9.99. I got it at Walmart. I was very excited to see it because I've seen it solicited in the past and people have wanted big money for it. So it was nice to see it out in the wild for the normal price. Sorry, I was cutting his head off there. But as we can see here, I mean, it is OG Soundwave. Got nice Decepticon symbol, and it's not a sticker. It might be screen printed on there, so might have to worry about rubbing if you were to play with it. Take a look at the back here. Unfortunately, this doesn't come off to store his batteries / weapons. But this is the thing I was most interested in. He comes with a cassette of Laserbeak, I would assume. But unfortunately my suspicions were correct, and little Laserbeak does not transform. He is just there for show. But what a good show it is. Okay, he's got little glides there he sits on. But you can see him there through the see-through of his chest, so that's pretty cool. So let's try to, well, before we transform him, give him his blaster here. Oh, of course my washing machine has to go into the spin cycle now, so I apologize for that. Oh, come on, why won't this fit in there? There we go. So there we go. Not a bad little figure. Now you can definitely see where it's been cheaped out, if you will. I mean, this is hollowed out. I don't know if you can get that detail, because unfortunately the camera screen I'm looking at is very little, and I know the closer I put things, the blurrier they get. Okay, it looks like you can see it very well here. So let's try to transform him. So put his hands up in there. Put your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. Turn his head around. Put that in there. I'm not a fan of the things sticking up, though. And I wish he had a handle. So there he is as the Walkman, tape deck, radio, whatever you want to say. Let's see what would look better. Yeah. Squared off top or the pointed top? Which one do you think looks better? I think I'm more inclined to the squared off top for some reason. So I am going to keep it as such. So here's one of the things I was excited to try. Let me move the camera here. Let's see how this scale measures up to sorry for the cord. I usually hide that in these videos. But that looks pretty cool. I mean, that looks like a nice stereo system. A ghetto blaster. Is that acceptable to say nowadays? I mean, either way, it's an awesome name. Here we go, Flint chilling out. There we go. I think I'm a fan of that. I think Flint has a new friend. Very cool. Thumbs up on that. Now let's compare his size to... Oh, come on, Flint. Hold your shotgun. To a 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe figure. And again, I'm sorry for the spin cycle spinning away in the background. Like I've said in the past, the name is not just a shtick. We are in a laundry room, and I do have to do laundry. Oh, and we have a cat coming around now. Oh, great. This review's just going to heck. Oh, stand up, Flint. Stand up for yourself. And how did moving his legs make him drop his gun out of his hand there? There we go. So here we go. The first one I could pull out was rock and roll, so kind of apropos. One of the comic packs from the earlier 2000s. So let's transform Soundwave back to his robot mode. And stand him next to sorry for my finger in the way. That's pretty snazzy. He's actually a little bit shorter. Like, hey buddy, you want to go surfing? Sure, I will go surfing. I can't do the cool Soundwave voice without like a auto tune or something, so forgive my poor impersonation. Anyway, hey, I'm rock and roll. I play rock and roll. Let's be friends. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. So I thought it would be fun to try this as well, to see if he can hold Joe weaponry. And he can. Oh, it's a little, I bet a pistol would probably be better because of how his elbow turns in there. But if he tires of his Cybertronian laser weaponry, you could always grab a Joe gun. And like I said, I recommend probably a pistol or a submachine gun that doesn't have as big a stock to get hung up on his elbow joint there. But that's still pretty rad. Here, you can just point it like that. So that's pretty neat. Neat little bonus. So put him off to the side. Give him his own weaponry back. Now, I would have been much happier with like a full service mini version of the original Soundwave with like compartments to put his weaponry / batteries in, and a little, I mean, Laserbeak doesn't take much to transform. They could have took the time to made him be able to transform, but how awesome is it that he's included at all? I mean, you wouldn't expect a little toy like this to come with a little tape. And I have to say, I love the Transformer Red figures, if you've seen them. They're just posable action figures for Transformers that don't transform. And I've been so close to getting the Soundwave one of that. And after getting this and seeing how great it is with his little accessories and stuff, I might have to pull the trigger on that and get that one day. But I think as far as displaying him, I'm going to keep him at... Oh, Flint, get out of here. Keep him as his stereo version and have him hang out with Cobra. So I'll include a picture of what that will look like. And... until then, back to me.
Back to me. Like I was saying, and it's still kind of hanging with me after I've played with it a little bit more and kind of have posed it with my Cobras and Joes and things, is that I wish they would have made this a like 100% accurate, you know, version of the OG Soundwave. I mean, that would have been awesome. A little bit more sturdy with like the removable back to put the batteries in it, a laser beak that would transform. I mean, even if its wings just would fold out and its head just flopped out, you wouldn't need the feet or anything like that. Just something that would show you that it's laser beak. Now, I'm assuming they did it as a cost-cutting, you know, measure, because I mean, looking at that, they could have made it pretty darn accurate to the original. But, I mean, even if the price was $5 more for that, I would have happily have paid it, because it's a really neat little figure. And like I said, I have a Soundwave collection, a very small one, mind you, but this is just a happy addition to that. I'm very happy that I found it. And like I said, when I first heard about it months ago, I jumped online, and even Amazon had it like for $30 because scalpers were selling it on Amazon and on eBay and so on and so forth. So it was really, I feel fortunate to find it out in the wild. And they had a couple of them. So hopefully some other cats or kittens out there hook up with it and are enjoying it as much as I am. And what an awesome just posability, photo op that the Joes or Cobras can hold it, you know, like they would a stereo back in the day. I mean, I always wanted one of those monster ones with lights and stuff on it, and never was able to get one. I just had a little Emerson one that I carried around. Those things took a lot of batteries too, by the way. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about stereos of the 80s, Transformers of the 80s, Soundwave of today and the 80s, but I won't. I will cut you free. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this, or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad, and stay dorky!